Officer Mark Jensen and his canine partner, Rex, were called to a quiet suburban neighborhood. The tip was simple. A house needed a routine check. But as soon as Rex approached the door, he froze. His ears twitched, tail stiff, and he refused to step inside. Mark tugged gently on the leash. But Rex's growls weren't playful, they were warning him to stay back. Something inside the house was wrong. Neighbors peeked curiously. Then, with a final insistent bark, Rex pawed at Mark's hand, forcing him to notice the faint, desperate sound of someone trapped inside. Time was running out. The suburban street was quiet, almost too quiet for a sunny afternoon. Birds chirped lazily, sprinklers hissed across manicured lawns, and the occasional car passed by, but otherwise, life seemed normal. Officer Mark Jensen parked his cruiser at the end of the cul-de-sac, glancing at Rex, his German Shepherd, canine partner. Today's call seemed routine, a welfare check at an old two-story house. The neighbors had reported unusual noises coming from inside. Rex stepped forward confidently. But as they reached the front porch, his paws skidded, his ears pinned, muscles tensed, and his gaze locked on the slightly ajar front door. Mark stopped. "Rex," he said softly, tugging on the leash. The dog didn't budge. He growled low in his throat, a sound Mark had never heard before. It wasn't aggression, it was warning. Mark took a deep breath. "All right, buddy, show me." Rex circled the porch, sniffing intensely, and pawed at Mark's hand, urging him to pay attention to something invisible to the human eye. A faint whimper carried from inside the house. Mark's pulse quickened. He motioned to the neighbors to stay back. "Everyone, give us space," he said. The crowd murmured nervously. He pushed the door open slowly, Rex refusing to step in. Mark noticed the smell immediately, a mixture of smoke and something metallic. His heart skipped. "Rex, what is it?" he whispered. Then, a sound hit him, a faint cough, weak and strained, coming from the upstairs hallway. Mark moved cautiously, hand on his service weapon, eyes scanning every corner. Rex stayed at the threshold, barking softly but insistently, urging Mark not to go further alone. Mark nodded, understanding. Rex wasn't just a dog, today he was the first line of defense. The staircase creaked as Mark climbed, each step deliberate. The cough grew louder. He reached a bedroom door that was partially blocked by fallen furniture. He froze. The handle was warm. Someone had been trying to escape. Mark glanced at Rex. The dog pawed the floor urgently. They needed to get in. Mark kicked the door gently. It swung open, revealing a young teenager, lying on the floor, coughing violently. Smoke curled around the ceiling. The boy's leg was pinned under a heavy dresser, and he was struggling to free himself. His face was pale, lips turning blue. "Hang on," Mark shouted, running forward. Rex bounded inside, sniffing the air, alert to every detail. Together, they lifted the dresser just enough for the boy to wriggle free. Mark grabbed him in his arms as Rex barked, pacing protectively around the room. Outside, neighbors watched in tense silence, unsure whether to cheer or stay away. The smell of smoke intensified. Mark checked the boy quickly. "Are you okay? Can you breathe?" The boy nodded weakly, coughing, gasping for air. "Fire? Stove?" he managed to choke out. Mark glanced around. The kitchen smoke detector hadn't gone off. The stove was still on, a small fire smoldering in a pan. Mark grabbed a fire extinguisher from the hallway closet while keeping one eye on Rex, who stood vigilant, ears forward, tail stiff. With careful aim, Mark doused the small fire. Smoke began to clear, but the tension didn't leave. Paramedics arrived moments later, taking over the boy's care. Mark stayed at his side, praising Rex quietly. "You did good, boy. You saved him." Rex nuzzled Mark's arm, eyes calm now, but still alert. The boy's parents rushed into the room, tears streaming. Thank you, they cried. Mark simply nodded, letting Rex receive the silent accolades from the family. Once the house was cleared and fire safety confirmed, the neighborhood slowly returned to normal. But Mark knew that today was anything but ordinary. The bravery, the instincts, the timing, all of it mattered. Rex had refused to enter the house at first, but in doing so, he had guided Mark directly to the child in danger, ensuring the boy's survival. Later, at the station, Mark reviewed the incident with his superiors. Everyone was amazed at how quickly Rex had detected danger. "This dog is incredible," one officer said. Mark smiled. "He's more than incredible, he's a lifesaver." The story went viral on local news and social media. Photos of Rex, standing alert at the doorway, guiding Mark to the trapped boy, were shared thousands of times. Comments poured in. "Dogs are angels. That canine should get a medal." 4 paws saved a life today. Mark remained humble, knowing that the real hero was Rex. 2 weeks later, the department held a ceremony to honor Rex. Children and adults alike crowded around the German Shepherd, marveling at his instincts. The boy he saved, now fully recovered, presented Rex with a handmade medal. "You saved me," he whispered. Rex sniffed the medal, tail wagging, eyes shining with the quiet dignity of a hero. Mark knelt beside him. "You didn't just follow orders today, you followed your heart." Rex leaned into him, resting his head on Mark's shoulder, a silent affirmation that he understood. Outside, the sun set over the neighborhood, casting long shadows, but inside the hearts of those who witnessed the event, light and gratitude shone brighter than ever. That evening, back at the station, Mark reflected on the day. Every second had counted. Every bark, every paw movement had made a difference. Rex wasn't just a partner, he was family, a protector, and a hero. And while the house now stood empty and safe, the story of that canine who refused to enter but saved a life would be remembered forever. If this story gave you chills, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Every story like this reminds us how incredible the bond between humans and their animal heroes can be. Have you ever seen a dog act heroically? Drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how pets have saved lives in your world. Remember, sometimes the bravest heroes don't wear uniforms, they have 4 paws, a wagging tail, and the instincts to act when it matters most. Hit the notification bell for more emotional, life-saving stories like Rex's.